I'm Olivia.
I'm Leander.
I'm Katie.
I'm Landon.
And we're all from Team 22.2.
Alright, so we're Group 22-2, and we are covering the BP Deepwater Horizon oil spill that occurred in the Gulf of Mexico that started April 2010. Who it affected, BP, the Transocean, Marine and Wildlife, and the Gulf of Mexico citizens and the Gulf of Mexico as a whole. What it affected, the oil rig exploded, and in the explosion it resulted in 210 million gallons of crude oil spilled into the Gulf of Mexico. And some of the issues that were safety procedures were not followed, as they didn't have enough life rafts for everybody, so people were just casually chilling in the middle of the ocean waiting to get rescued, and they didn't follow anything that they should have and didn't learn from other oil spills.
Hi, my name is Landon, and I am covering one of the three alternative options that the companies BP and Transoceans could have done during the oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico, which is do nothing. And the consequences of doing nothing is that it could happen again, and it would be awful. There would be oil everywhere, and it would destroy the environment, the ecosystems, and all the animals and plant life would be obsolete. It would just be millions of gallons of oil. It violates many ethical codes for in the engineering canon, such as not holding paramount to the safety, welfare, and health of the public, and not being ethical or honest to the public if they do not disclose all of the information. In regards to the moral compass of the company, this is bad morale and character by BP, which is the company that owns the oil that was released into the ocean, and Transocean, which is the company that actually is the drilling company that was able to get it up out of the ground and pollute everything. This is very bad and inhumane because they did not plan for this, and they did not care the consequences if something went wrong. There was no fail-safe option, and many of the managers were just pointing fingers at each other and didn't want to take any blame. And to justify why this would be a horrible decision for BP and Transocean is that this would be extremely harmful to their reputations as an oil company and as a drilling company, because they would not be able to maintain their oil rigs, and they would not be able to clean up the wildlife, and they would not be trusted or wanted for any further transactions. And it could happen again if they don't clean it up and they don't fix the oil rigs. It's just going to continue to spew out and harm millions of plants and animals and the coral reefs, and it would be a very bad decision.
Hi, I'm Katie. So I'm presenting alternative number 2 to cleaning up the oil spill, and that would be to clean up the oil and we don't fix the oil rigs. So some consequences of that are it's expensive, and it could happen again if we don't fix the oil rigs, and it's also really time consuming. But we would also be cleaning up the environment. Some ethical issues and benefits would be that we're conducting ourselves honorably, ethically, and responsibly as engineers, and it would also enhance our reputation to see that we have identified a problem and are taking actions to find a solution. And then morally, it shows that we have good moral character, taking responsibility for our actions and that stuff, but it's also could be seen as slightly deceptive because we are cleaning up the oil spill, but we're not fixing the oil rigs, and then that could happen again, so that's kind of an issue. And then upon our evaluation, we decided that this alternative would be really good for the environment because we are cleaning up the oil spill and helping out everybody that lives along the Gulf of Mexico. But this isn't the greatest solution long term because an oil rig could explode again, and this would happen all over again, harming the environment, and it would just be a nasty cycle. And the justification for that is that it would be a good solution short term because it would help our reputation and it would help the environment, but it could happen again, so it's not the best solution to this issue.
Alright, so the third alternative, which is basically just a build off of the second one, is to clean up the Gulf of Mexico, all the oil and the problems it created, but also to fix the rigs that are all involved in hauling oil across the ocean to prevent this problem from ever happening again. The consequence of that would be basically just that it's expensive, and it is also time consuming, but it would definitely be worth the money and the time put in to fix these problems or the issue at hand and then the future issues. Ethically, the engineers involved would be conducting themselves honorably, ethically, responsibly, and lawfully, and it would enhance their reputation for the businesses and the people involved in fixing the issue, as far as like engineers or anyone around volunteers to help out. It would be a good moral decision all around by the businesses. It would definitely boost their character because they would be recognizing what happened and admitting their mistake and then fixing it, and not really keeping any deceptive acts from the citizens around and not leaving anything stones unturned, I guess. It'd be great helping the environment to clean it up for the present moment, do what they can, and then for the future, it should not happen again. As far as the decision, it is a very good decision because it's great for the environment, as I stated, presently and for the future, and it is a long-term solution to the problem of hauling oil across the oceans, which needs to be done, but we just don't want this accident to happen again because it is very problematic. The justification for that decision is the reason it's such a great decision because it's helping the environment completely at the moment, and then as time goes on, and it's a very good decision, and it also, because it takes care of all the parties involved during short-term and the long-term process.